Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to see random module and the methods that are available in random module in Python. So without wasting time, let us go to Python screen and see what all methods are there in the random module. So starting with the first method that we are going to see, that is random only. So the name is random and the module for which we are actually working is also known as random. So in order to use that particular method, what I need is to import the random module first. And after that, what I will be doing is I will be calling this random method by this random module. Now, one thing that you need to understand over here is that see the color difference. This random over here is the module and this random over here is a method which is or the function which is actually available in this random module. Now what is the working of this particular method? This is going to return a float value in the range ranging from 0 to 1. Right, so this is going to return a random number, a random floating point number which will be ranging from 0 to 1. Right, so if I run this particular example, you can see that 0.48 something is now been printed. If I run it again, then another floating point random number is generated and so on. Right, every single time I will be getting a floating point number which will be ranging from 0 to 1. So that was the first method that was available. Now, coming to the second one. Now, the second one is almost similar to the above function, but instead of floating point, now what I want is a random number, right? Random integer, right? So, let me just comment this statement because I do not require this one. Otherwise, every time that will also get printed. So I have imported random over here and now I want to print a random. I need to call every single time with the dot operator the name of the module dot the name of the function. So rand int, right? And here I need to give a certain range. Let's say I want a number ranging between 2 to ranging between 10 to 20, right? So a number between this range is to be printed. Let us see what we get as an answer. You can see I got 17, which is definitely lying between 10 and 20. Then I got 20. That means the last number is also been included, right? Then I got 80. Then I got 13 and so on, right? So it is returning an integer between a given range. So that was the second one. Coming to the third function, right? The third function is almost similar to the previous one, which is rand range, right? And here also I will be giving a range, but there will be a little difference. So print, again I will be calling it by the name of the module dot random range, and here I will be giving 10 to 20 again. But this time remember that this 20 will not be included, right? In the previous one you can see that 20 was an option because it is starting from 10 and then 20, so 20 was also included. Any random number between 10 and 20 including 20 will be printed, but this time we are going to exclude this. So the range will be from 10 to 19, right? So if I run this now, you can see 17 has been printed, 13 has been printed, 14 has been printed, again 14 I got and 10 I got, but I will never get 20 in this particular uh, you know example, right? So that was the third method. Now coming to the fourth one. The fourth one which is we are going to see is, let's say, choice. Now this is something different and this takes an iterable as an argument. So we can pass for example a list inside it. Let us see how it works, right? So again remember that we have already imported random on the top. So here I will be first declaring a list and let's say the list have certain numbers, like let's say 4, right? So this is what a list is, and what I'm going to do is print, and here again the name of the module dot choice, right? And inside it what I'm going to write is the name of my list, and let's see what I get as an output. You can see what it does, it returns a random number from the list, right? So you can see that if I run it, you can get 8. 8 is also a part of my list. Here I got 5. 5 is also a part of my list. Here I got 3. 3 is also a part of my list, and so on. So this is going to select a random number from a given list. Now it is also perfectly fine to have a list of let's say strings. So if I write my name, and if I write let's say another name in the list, and so on, and let it be 1, and if I pass 1 over here, and this is going to return the random names, right? So it is perfectly fine. You can keep integer values as well as string values in the choice method. The next one is somewhat similar to the previous one, and the fifth one, which is choices. So you can see the difference in the spelling, right? Now this is something very important and we need to understand this. Here, print, now this is a different one and important as well. Random dot choices. And here as the argument, I will be providing, let's say, some arguments. First will be the value of my list, right? Then the next thing which I'm going to give is the weights, right? And here in my list I have passed list 1, and list 1 have 3 elements, right? So I will be giving weights, so that will be 5, 2 and 1, right? So 5 is the weight which I have assigned to the first element, 2 is the weight that I have assigned to the second element, and 1 is the weight that I have assigned to the third element respectively. And next I am giving the value as, let's say, 10. Now this is something which I have given, right? Now let me just run and explain what do we really understand by these particular arguments, right? So if I run this code, you can see, okay, so I need to actually close this as well, right? So now there should not be any error. Right? If I run this now, yes. So it's working very fine. So that was a mistake with the brackets. So here you can see that 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So this K stands for the total number of elements of my list, right? So K is 10. Now I have given weight 5 to the first element. So you can see that the frequency of the first element, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. You can see the element which is having weight, more weight, is having higher frequency. So you can see that here the weights are corresponding to the frequency of the elements, right? The number which is having higher weight will be more frequent. So that was something about choices. Now, coming to the next function which is available, and that will be shuffle. So that is again going to work on the list only. So if I will be printing random dot shuffle and I will be passing, let's say, my first list, which is something like this. And if I now run this particular example, okay, so I need to run it in a different manner and I need to print the list, right? So if I run this, and you can see that the numbers are now been shuffled. So it was 163, now it was 135, right? So the ordering is been now shuffled randomly, right? So that is one another function that can actually shuffle the elements that are present inside the list. So that was also one of the method or functions which is available in the random module. Let us talk about one more method, which, let's say, sample, right? So this is again going to work on list. So I will be considering the same list over here and I will be writing print and random dot sample, and here I will be giving my list and how many elements I want. So in my sample, so it is going to return a sublist actually. Let's say k is equal to 3. So k over here will also be the total number of elements, right? So here if I run, you can see a sublist with element 3 has been returned, and these three elements 1, 8 and 6 are taken from LST, right? Now if I change it to 2, this time a list will be returned with 2 elements, and 5 and 6 both belong to this particular list only. So that was a sample that is going to return certain elements as per specified from a list. Now the next example, let's say it will be uniform, and here if I make use of the print statement random dot uniform, and again here I will be giving a range, and let's say the range will be 20 to, let's say, 50, and if I run, you can say that a floating point number which is between 20 and 50 is now been actually printed on your screen every single time, a floating point value which is within this particular range. So that were few of the functions which are most often used with the help of random module. For more such videos on Python, stay tuned to my channel. Thank you.